Ladies and gentlemen, all the good people watching, episode 6. We're gonna do 6. There we go. AL Turf Talk. So we've been talking, we've been interviewing people, kind of seeing where everybody's head's at, talking to different people from the team. Some of the gentlemen we have here, some we didn't get to talk to, but we talked to other people from the organization. But on Saturday, every team played. Some won, some lost. Everybody can't win, somebody got to lose. But today we're going to talk to people from the teams that won, coaches from the staffs of the teams that did have success this weekend and found a way to win, whether that's 6 points, 3 points, 20 points, 30 points. Doesn't matter. They got a dub. That's what's important. So, hey, with no further ado, we're going to get things started. Michigan Avengers up first. Coach JP, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people?
Hey, just getting past the busy weekend.
How's it going?
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, hey, first game of the season. I know, Coach, when we talked, you were kind of like, hey, this could be a developmental season. We got some veterans in different pieces, but we also have some young guys that, we're going to be bringing on developing. So it could go either way, right? So for this week, 10-0 win over the Outlaws. So, hey, started off in a good place. Guys, what do you think you were able to do to be successful in that game this past weekend?
Go ahead, Chris. Tell me what you think.
I felt like we got pressure to the quarterback this week. We did a lot better job covering this week also. Our offense was actually they was moving the ball. They kept us from from our backs against the wall this week, so they helped us out a lot.
Okay. My outlook on it is our defense. We had a game plan going in there defensively. They stuck to it, and I don't care if we would have scored 60 points against them. Our defense still would have shut them out because our defense was just knocking their game out the way. They couldn't move the ball against us very much. I could tell they're a young team too, much like us, and they got a lot of developmenting to go. And we saw that there. It was crazy. You couldn't find much footage on them, so we didn't know what we were going to face. But I will tell you this: offensively, I think if we would have been a little bit more disciplined, like we had 2 holding penalties that lost us 2 touchdowns. We had 2 drop touchdown passes, and we also had another penalty that cost us a touchdown. And then on top of that, we had a play that, he was down to like the 5-yard line, punched it in for a touchdown, and they gave it to him at the 5-yard line. We couldn't capitalize on it. So if those all would have been disciplined offensively and successful, we would have saw a heck of a bigger score. But we kicked ourselves in the pants offensively a little bit, and we came out with a 10-0 win. But like I said, defense, I there's not one thing to say defensively that I can say that we did not do. Offense, like I said, discipline, lack of discipline that game cost us a big score. We could have had a big score.
And that does happen for a lot of teams. This was the first game of the season, so kind of getting the rust out, getting the first game jitters, and then obviously after the team didn't have a lot of film on, things went your way, but obviously without film, things could have went the other way too. So saw the win. It's difficult to stop another team from getting in the end zone at all, right? So definitely kudos to you guys for doing that, because that's not easy to do when you were the only team that were able to accomplish that this past weekend. But when we look forward, you mentioned the defense, you mentioned how great that was, but you also mentioned the offense and some of the things that may need to be cleaned up. Do you feel like these are things that you can get cleaned up and be prepared for your next game, or is it something that maybe it's going to take a couple of weeks to just kind of get all the kinks out and get everything working how you want it to?
Well, we got a big one coming up got a big one coming up this weekend, and we definitely have to work out I don't know if you can cuss on this, but a shit ton of stuff to get out of the way before we enter into the arena Saturday night. So hopefully everybody's on the same level mentally and willing to put in the work to get to that point. But yeah, I do see probably a uh, lot more work needs to be done to get us to where we need to get us to where we can be that team that is united and can move forward into games with good feel.
Yeah,
What do
we most definitely could improve for sure.
You know, I mean, and that's again, it's going to be a season long thing. We understand. We've been talking about how AAO2 is going to operate. So there'll be times where some of your best guys may get moved to other teams or the league. So you expect that, and you expect, from week to week, things may not always be consistent. But hey, I always say you can't win them all if you don't win the first one. And we talked to everybody in the off season, right? And the best thing that I think I said, as well as some other people said, was everybody's overly confident until they get punched in the mouth. Sometimes you get punched in the mouth, you overcome it. Sometimes you get punched in the mouth and you fall. But hey, until you get punched in the mouth, we never know. But you guys were able to, make things happen. 10 points, it's like, hey, we could have did more. But when you can hold the other team to no points, the goal of the game is always to score more points than the other team. So for those who may not be aware of the schedule, guys, please let them know who you have up on your schedule for next week.
next week we have the Bearcats.
They have the
Jersey.
Bearcats. Just so you guys know who they're talking about when they say, they want to get things together, want to be clear, want to improve from this week to last week. So on the offense, we talked about the defense. Defense played really well, but on the offense, who were some guys or what were some plays that kind of stand out to you? Like, these were really great plays. I know you mentioned a couple that just happened to get called back because of a mistake, but were there any really good plays, whether they were scoring plays or not, that you felt like, hey, these are plays that work really well against this team, but unfortunately, it may or may not have gotten us in the end zone?
Well, I guess I can answer that question. We had quite a few. We had quite a few plays that worked, and they were mainly our basic ones. So that's a good thing. We tried to go out on a limb on a few plays, and it we got smacked in the face trying to run them. But really, all in all, I think I think honestly, like I said, if they wouldn't have had the penalties and would have caught the ball, I wouldn't be really disappointed in how our offensive game went. But I'm a coach, so I'm always going to be picky, So it's like I always get disappointed in probably the small things, But it's I will say this: I really think I really think we're pretty decent on offensive front. It's just like I said, we messed up and probably 5-6 touchdowns, which is not good for an offense, in regards to penalties, taking those away. So, but I do think we moved the ball without issues and had big plays, but we couldn't take it home. What are your
And
thoughts?
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like our offense is they're not showing what they're capable of. They're very capable of making noise in this league. But if
Mm-hmm.
they can just lock in and come together and make it happen, man, we're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Okay. And again, I kind of asked this question before, but do you feel like that's something that's going to be fixable in like a week or two? Is this just going to be like, hey, throughout the season, we're going to always be continually working on making sure we can get everybody on the offense on the same page and kind of get things moving in the direction that you'd like to have them moving?
Well, to me, I feel like that win kind of gave our offense um the momentum they needed to figure things out. I feel like this week they come in to practice. I feel like they're gonna figure things out this week, and I feel like this week is gonna be an exciting week for them.
And my standpoint on it is, uh, this week we need to, if it's not there yet, we definitely need to shift that shit into sixth gear, because
Yes.
you know a lot of people in the league know that the Bearcats are a challenge, and they're going to be a challenge in the league. And it's like this right here is our our test of the league. So we really got to put it out there. So we really got to get into a next gear. So that's what we got to focus on this week, moving forward.
Fair enough. So on the defensive side, I know we kind of said like, hey, on the offense, penalties, some mistakes kind of hurt us a little bit. We're able to execute well. You just had some situations that kind of affected certain plays being made or certain plays being called back because of situations. On the defensive side, I know you had to shut out, but as a coach, I know you look at it and say, okay, but there are some things we could have possibly done better. Anything you can pinpoint and say, even though we had a really good game on the defensive side of the ball, some things that we can work on to kind of improve.
Well, Chris is one of our vocal leaders, and I guess you could say leaders of the defense. So I'll let him. I'll only take him a few seconds, and I'll let him, because he sees it. I may call a few plays here. Chris is the rally man for the group, so I'll let him. For out of his own eyes, what he sees out there. But for me, I can't really defensively, because we had a defensive structure where we're going back and forth between zone and man, and we had specific plays that called for either or. And I feel like the guys did what they were told and were shown to do from me as a coach. So, they played hard, and they had to be in defense a lot more than we would like to have them be. So obviously, but yeah, for me, I got nothing really objective to say about that game. Moving forward, just keep hustling, baby. That's all I got to. I'll throw at it. We're just gonna keep hustling.
Yep, keep the foot to the pedal. That's what we plan on doing. I feel like we're doing good. I feel like we're gonna rise to whatever occasion, or whatever team come in there. I feel like we're gonna rise to the occasion and give them a battle.
Yep, definitely.
Hey,
we talked a lot. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
Coach, sorry to interrupt you, but every cocky player and coach, they have that dream and that hunger to say, we're shutting out every damn team the whole season. And I believe that these guys strongly have the capability. Defensively, between our three backs, these are seasoned players, heavy hitters, and athletic to tilt, man. And our secondary with the linebackers, they're hungry and aggressive. And we've been battling back and forth on the defensive line, but I think we finally found our defensive line, and I think it worked, and it showed out pretty good. We put a lot of pressure on the quarterback this one, and that had a lot to do with them, messing up quite a bit. So I do think, that's in a nutshell. I just gave away the recipe, I guess you could say, but I think these guys, and it doesn't matter if I give it away, because it's going to take those 8 players to just go out there, all gas, no break, and just whoop ass, So I'm excited to see how they feel and how they represent the team this weekend.
Fair enough. So you guys, of course, as mentioned, a big game against the Bearcats. Obviously not asking you to give too much away, but just kind of a quick question here. When you're looking at the Bearcats, you know them from this year. I'm sure you've seen them, heard about them prior to that as well. What are the things that you feel like you need to do? Obviously, I don't want you to give details. I want you to give her your game plan, but just generally things that you feel like you need to do or the team needs to do to be able to try to stick in the game with these Bearcats.
When I come to these guys on Wednesday, I'll give it away. We're going to focus on keeping it. I feel people do their best when it's simplified, so we're going to keep it simple. We're going to stick to the basics. We're going to play arena football, arena defense, and we're just going to make sure we shut down their pass game, because obviously we know that's what arena football is, so the ingredients is shut down the pass play and make sure they can't run that ball anywhere. And, sprinkled with a little bit of making sure that the our defensive line is getting in the backfield and creating havoc. So that's how we plan to really turn the Bearcats into kitties. You know what I mean?
Well, hey man, if you go into the game feeling like you've already lost, that's not a positive thing. So yeah, you got to have a game plan. Sounds like you guys are at least have something you're going to be implementing. I was saying, do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to throw out there, and then also let the people know where they can find you as a individual as well as the team information?
Well, Chris, is there anything else you wanna get out there, and I'll wrap up where they can find us. But you go ahead and let the world know what the Avengers is going to bring to the table this weekend.
Hey, we're gonna bring pressure, and we're gonna execute. That's all. That's the only thing that we got going on. We ready for this week. We excited. We know that in arena ball that it's made for the offense to score. So we're not gonna get down on ourselves. We're gonna rally together, and we're gonna do what we got to do to finish out the game.
Hey, I'm 100% with him on that one, and come Wednesday, I'm going to push to make sure that they all fall in line with that one. But you can find us, of course. You can find Chris Freyson Jr. is how you can find him if you want to go scout him or whatever. If anybody's watching, good linebacker, leads the team with heart. And as for me, Coach JP, Jeff Piddock, you can find me on pretty much all the handles, and then miavengers.com.
Fair enough, man. Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll have you guys back for a win next week. We'll see how things go.
Hey,
we're itching for it.
Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it.
All right.
All right, good people, we're back. And now we're going to talk about a game that I actually was at and got a chance to see. And that was the Mississippi Wolfpack and the Carolina Predators. Coach Strong, how's it going today, sir?
Hey, what's going on? You doing all right?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I know y'all are doing pretty good, too.
Yeah, man. I'm still trying to get some rest from that long drive we had.
I'm sure that was a good drive for y'all. So, man, defensive battle. I was there witnessing it. Defensive battle. Two teams that offenses looked a little challenged by the defense. I won't say they looked like behind, but just the defenses were able to kind of get them. You guys were able to pull it out. Talk to us about what you were able to do to kind of smooth that thing over and get that win.
Well, we started out with a problem. Our quarterback, he left his gear. He left his gear back in Mississippi. So the only thing I could do then was put a wide receiver in there. And I said, guys, only thing we can do now is just slash him with the run. And the run, it run the game. It opened the run game up. It opened the run game up a little bit. But I know, we weren't gonna be able to run all night. So one of my players, he did a great thing, as a teammate. He was a great teammate, and he let the quarterback wear his gear.
Okay.
And that gave me the option. I can mix it up now with run and pass. And that's kind of like how we kind of, because my defense played balls out all night. They played balls out, kept them out the end zone. They had a few runs on. They got a couple passes on them, that one touchdown. But other than that, my defense played balls out. And I know they would, just like they did last game. They played balls out. My guys, they're a bunch of they young guys. I may got maybe one or two guys with arena football experience, but those guys are young, but they love to play football. Most of them guys played together at the high school here in Batesville, South Manola Tigers, and these guys, they just love to go out there and play. So we're a young, big physical football team, and our defense held up, and we were able. The quarterback made an amazing play. Over there, they almost had him down. He stayed up and he made that hell of a throw, and our wide receiver guy that took it in for that touchdown that gave us the win, man. And I was happy for those guys.
So I just want to give y'all like the picture of what he's talking about. So they have the ball. I think it's third down, maybe
third or fourth.
It was a third or fourth down. They get the ball. One of the Predators. The Predators, shout out to them as well. They played really well in defense as well.
That's right.
But they came through. They got the quarterback. They were taking him down. You know how sometimes when the guy's going down, everybody kind of slows up a little bit. They did that. He was able to cock it and make a bullet throw while going down before his knee hit the ground. And the guy made the catch. Everybody stopped. He ran in and got a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's one of those. The other team would probably say it's a fluke play. It's one of those, I would say it's definitely one of those plays that you wouldn't see happen a lot, but it's one of those plays where coaches always say never stop until the whistle blows, and
That's
you
right.
stop the whistle blow, and that's what happens. And not saying that it wouldn't have made the play if they didn't, but we don't know because they kind of, and Coach Strong's guys, those Wolfpack, man, they made that play. And then defensively, man, a lot of turnovers caused by both teams. Both teams, were playing well, but it's all about who can get more done on offense. And definitely, like the Wolfpack were able to do more defensively to make things difficult in the Predators and just get enough points to win. And that's all it's about. It wasn't a blowout by any means, but it was a good, hard, physical game. Two teams that came out to play. And just for those of you who may not have had the score, it was 14-6.
That's right.
But Coach, I wanted to ask you, I noticed that you had one guy in quarterback, took him out, brought your quarterback in, and it kind of looked like the offense at least was moving the ball better once you made that move.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that may have been one of the turning points for the game, actually being able to get your quarterback in the game?
Well, yeah, that's true because he is the quarterback. He knows all the plays. The quarterback I had him before him, he's actually played wide receiver, and but he's a skill type guy that can, he can play multiple positions, wide receiver, quarterback, DB. So basically, I'm just gonna have him in just running and toss it and running and toss it. That's what my plan to do all night. But like I said, the Predators, they start defending the run. So I knew then I had to mix it up. So I had to figure out a way to get my quarterback in just because he knows most of the plays. Right. And so we just give the defense more than just a run look. We can now, okay, you want to play the run, we're gonna take it downfield on you. We can throw it downfield. We also can throw the ball. So they're just kind of like, defense, if they want to play run, we can hit them deep. So they kind of gave me a little edge right there, as you can see when he made the throw. But the only thing with him, I need him to be like that more often, more often. I need him to be consistent. So once, but he's young. He's young, and that was our second game. That was his second game in arena football, and just like the last guys that talk, once the young guys get comfortable and they get better in playing this game, you're gonna see a lot more out of them. You'll see a lot of more better play out of these young guys because now they're used to this game and man, they just can go out there compete and have fun.
Yeah, you could see it was two teams who you could see some of the guys, kind of veterans. You could tell that they were comfortable. You could see some of the guys kind of, trying to work through it and get it right. Their first game, y'all second game. So it was interesting to watch. I will say this, throughout the game, you guys were able, when you picked your spots, to run the ball. You did a really good job of overall running the ball. There were times where they stopped you, but you guys stuck with the run even when you got your quarterback in, which I think helped eat the clock up and give them less opportunities, on offense.
Correct.
There was a specific drive where you guys got them down. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the one you ended up scoring off of. But you got them down to like the 1 or 2 yard line. You weren't able to punch it in. They got the ball, but then they weren't able to do anything. So you ended up getting the ball back. And if I remember correctly, I think that's the one you scored on. I may be wrong, but that drive, when you weren't able to punch it on the 4 downs and you gave them the ball on the turnover, what were you guys able to tell the defense and the offense to say, hey, look, man, we're going to do this again? Like, how did you keep them up and not let them get down? We had a little bit of adversity.
My defense, I have really high confidence in my defensive guys. Mm-hmm. I know what kind of guys I have back there. And those guys, they're going to get after the quarterback. They're going to stop the run, and they're going to stop the pass. They've been doing it all night. Yeah. And I just told them guys, hey, guys, we need you one more time because they've been carrying this team the first 2 games. Defense has been carrying this team. And I told them I need them one more time. And they happened to get them 4 down, right down on the 2-yard line, on the 1-yard line. I told the offense, yeah, we finna punch it in. We finna punch it in. And I called what I call the jumbo set. And I took my big guys out there and I gave it to my big back. I said, hey, it's backyard football. I'm an old school type coach. I believe in running game and defense. And I was able to get those guys lined up. Sometimes they didn't line up correctly, but when they did, what you seen on that play, they punched it in, no problem.
Yep.
Absolutely. I just I told them that we came up there with 14 and 15 guys, all of my guys to get a chance to come, and I said, y'all, some of you guys are going to be going back and forth. So you're going to be tired. But I tell you what, that's a long ride back to Mississippi with a loss. That's a long ride back to Mississippi with a loss. So we ain't got that much time left in this 4th quarter, man. Let's go secure this win and let's take it to the house. So when our defense went out and stopped them again, we got the ball with about 34 seconds left in the game. So we just ran the clock down, ran the clock out on them, and were able to secure that win and go back home.
Yeah, man. They tried. They pushed hard. It was a good matchup. It was interesting to see, but development, of course, is one of the major pieces. And what I noticed was you didn't do a lot of talking to the defense. Like you guys, because I could see the sideline stuff. You didn't do a lot of talking to the defense.
They know.
Right? Every once in a while you get somebody might get a slap on the helmet or the shoulder pad, but it was more you guys talking to the offense from what I noticed in the defense.
That's right. Exactly. Defense, like I said, my defense, I know what they can do. I might tell them, hey man, don't drop no interception again. Or I might say, don't overrun that tackle. Come on now, we do better than that. That's about it. I'm gonna say to the defense. And of course, they got a defensive coordinator over there, talking to them as well. But the offense, like I said, low guys are young, so I'm trying to keep them in the game. Don't let them get down on themselves. Don't worry, we get the next play. Don't worry about it. Okay, fumble. Don't worry about it. Just relax. We'll come back. We'll get it again. Just do better next play. So it's more so of that. Just keep them relaxed, keep them calm. Understand, man, this ain't nothing y'all ain't done before. This ain't nothing, y'all don't play high school ball, y'all don't play college ball. It's the same thing, man. This game just a little bit quicker, a little faster. But hey, just relax and calm down and just have fun. That's what it's all about, having fun.
Yeah, it is. And I love the fact that there were some guys that wanted to get a little, jumpy with each other, and y'all was like, hey, everybody was just like, hey, we ain't here for that. Come on here and sit down. Let's talk real quick, get your mind back right. Back in the game, making it happen. So something we talked about in the, the off season before the game started, hey, for being professional, you never know who's watching, you never know who's looking at the film. So make sure you keep yourself in a situation where you don't blow an opportunity because you get upset for 5 minutes and somebody you're going to probably go dap up after the game anyway. So
that's right.
Yeah, definitely a good job of just how I saw both coaches, both teams handling, the different situations and just, playing the camaraderie. Guys were out there hitting hard, playing, focused on winning, but at the same time, keeping it for the most part very smooth and even, a little chill. It's aggressive as football, but you can see that you guys both had that focus on what we talked about. We're here to make sure that, you guys get the chances, the opportunities, you get the tape, and you're making smart decisions. A lot of good decisions made on some things that could have went a little to the left, but guys just said, not going to worry about it. We're just going to play. We're going to keep it smooth. And we're going to have a good time. So definitely enjoyed watching the game. Enjoyed you guys, the camaraderie before the game, everybody dapping up the line, everybody prayed together after the game, all these things that you may not see on, camera, but these are things that happen. And these are things that are part of quality organizations.
Correct.
I can't talk about those things in the games I didn't see live, but for this one, I did see it. So I can say, hey, this was a good game. I'm sure that if I was at another game, it would have been exactly the same thing. It just happened to be the one that I was at.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. So any other thoughts you have on the game or any thoughts on your opponent for next week?
Well, like I'm new in this league. I'm just, my players are new. So every game that we play is new for us.
Okay.
We're new and I'm a competitor myself. So I just like to see what they have, I'm in the game when what they running on defense, what they running on offense. And I get to see that when we play them. So, you know, I'm a big fan of adjusting, you know, adjusting to what they're doing and just learn. Okay, so they're doing high motion. Okay, they got 2 motions. Okay. So it's gonna be a learning experience, you know. But I'm looking forward for the match, you know, because you know we never played Peach State. Just like every team we play, we never played them.
Right.
You know, so you know you can see a little film on them and things like that, but you won't know the real thing until you actually get out there and play them.
Makes sense.
But it's football. They can't do but 2 things. They can either run or they can throw. And so we're gonna be ready for it. You know, they gonna run. We're gonna stop them. They're gonna pass. We're gonna stop them. And the same thing for us. Hey, it's football. We're gonna run it. If they don't stop it, we're gonna run it. If we gonna pass it, they don't stop it, we're gonna pass it. You know, football is football. Let's just keep it clean. Keep away from bad penalties. Let's not do nothing stupid that put our team in jeopardy or losing 5 yards against somebody kick off the team. Let's be professional to the refs. Let's be professional to the other coaches and things like that. And let's play good, clean football. And let's get out here with a win.
Sounds good to me, man. So, Coach, would you like to let the people know where they can follow you and where they can follow the team?
Well, we on Facebook, Mississippi Wolfpack. We also got a web page, Mississippi Wolfpack Football at gmail.com. My name is Eddie Strong. I'm the head coach, the owner. And look us up, man. We trying to make some noise. You know, people they make fun of us when we set up our little barrels or our little things around the arena field. But hey, tell them to strap them pads on. Let's come out here on the field, play some football with us. You know, because we old school football. We gonna make it happen. We gonna find a way to play a football game, one way or another. We gonna get it on. But that's how you find us.
Fair enough. Well, Coach Strong, good luck on the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll see you back on to talk about another win next week.
Yes, sir. You will. All right. Talk to you later. Thank you.
All right. No problem. All right, good people. So we back in the building. Still doing that thing. Hey, it's 2 of the games out of the way. But as you well know, there were a couple more other games that happened. So we're going to be talking about those as well. So, Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Meet you, man. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Representing the Maryland War Eagles. So, War Eagles, of course, also got a victory this week. And just for those of you who may not have seen that particular matchup, they had a 21-18 victory over the Stampede. So, Josh, how were you guys able to pull out that tight victory?
You know, being able to stay together as a team. I told the team before we even played the game, we are one family, we one team, and we need to play like it. So the times that the Stampede was scoring, nobody had their heads down. Nobody was too upset. We stayed locked in. We stayed together. Offense, they started a little slow, but they pulled it together, and everything just happened to work out.
Okay. So, Josh, if I'm understanding correctly, you're playing on the defensive side of the ball, correct, sir? And what positions may not have seen the game were you playing?
Yes, sir. So I'm a linebacker.
Okay. So it's come to my attention that you had a pretty good day on Saturday. Something like 12 tackles and a sack. And apparently you're a pretty good player. That's what they say, right?
So yeah, definitely had my coach actually was watching a film and he told me, like, you had 13 tackles, right? I was like, listen, I only remember 4 of them things. I was just there to ball and take care of business. So as long as I'm there to help my team win, get the camaraderie right and everything, I'm good. Like, I do my job and do my job only. Just stick to being a team player.
I love it. So do you ever find yourself as someone who's been around for a while, someone who got some game can play, kind of maybe go into the office and say, hey, man, I noticed when y'all out there, you're doing this, you're doing that. And if I'm noticing, I'm pretty sure the other defense is noticing it and kind of help them get that fixed. Maybe something a coach may miss or another player may not see, but because you had that experience, you can kind of help out the team be successful with ways like that.
Definitely. So the good thing about playing this game for a long period of time is that the fact that I've grown up playing multiple offense positions and having trainers work on me to get better, not only just for a linebacker position, but I train for DN, I train for safety if need be, I train if I need to be a tight end and anything. Learning how to block, learning the little things, the little basic football things that can go universal for all positions. So I tell some guys, sometimes it's about your tendencies. Your tendencies can give away everything that you do. And if I realize it, another team is going to realize it, and they're going to try to exploit you to the fullest. So we work on the tendencies and you get better on the little things, the big things is going to come into play.
I love it, man. I love it. So in the game, of course, you yourself had a good game. Defense did enough to help you win the game, which is very important. Anything that you saw that maybe you say, hey, this is something that we can work on as a defense so that next week we can be a little bit better than this week?
Just everybody just doing their jobs. That's all. We're going to communicate. We're going to do what we need to do, but do not panic. Like, that's the number one thing I tell guys, don't panic. Just do your job. If you got 8 guys doing 8 jobs, 8 guys doing their job, everything on the defense is going to work out. But once you're trying to overstep and do somebody else's job and you know you're not supposed to, that's when the chaos is going to come. So just do your job, stick to the game plan, and just play.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I know defensively, you had a great game. On the offensive side of the ball, who would you say was probably maybe 1, maybe 2 guys that really kind of helped out on the offensive side to help you guys get this win?
Honestly, by watching everything, that last touchdown is what saved us. We had 19 seconds left. Quarterback came in, launched the ball to the wide receiver. Shout out to my man's Dan. He did great. He secured the ball, touchdown. But I also need to shout out that offensive line. That offensive line blocked. They handled their business. So shout out to my guys on that front 3. They handle business.
Okay. And the same question about the defense, besides yourself, who you feel like really stepped up to help the defense, if you can think of maybe a player or 2 besides yourself?
I'll give a shout out to my DBs though.
Okay.
One of my guys, Frankie, he had 2 interceptions on that game. One of them was a pick 6. I give a shout out to him. I give a shout out to Kadeem. He got targeted a couple times and knocked the ball down, and they ain't go his way a couple times, like no more until they needed to. But way to be alert, attentive, and just make a play. Just make a play.
I love it, man. I love it. It sounds like big win for you guys. Comeback wins are wins. Comeback wins sometimes even the best because you get to kind of see how the guys are. I know you mentioned the pick 6, so you guys definitely helped out with the scoring as well, which is always a good thing. Your defense can help you put points on the board. So, Josh, who are you guys going to be playing this upcoming week for all the people?
So we got running back. We got Stampede again.
Oh man.
Then we gotta travel out to PA again.
Okay.
But I like those type of things. I like games like that because they always says it's really, really hard to beat a team twice, especially back to back like that. Right. So it's like y'all just seen this. Y'all know what to work on. We seen y'all. We know what we gotta work on. Now it's best on best, man on man. Let's duke it out.
So y'all running it back. I love to hear that. That is a fun and unique thing, but that's fun when it does happen. So, Josh, I know you've been around, so obviously you're going to be focused on the professional side, helping guys understand what things they need to do to try to get to the other levels, right? So, if you wouldn't mind just throwing out a little something for the people, maybe some advice or some suggestions that you give some of your guys on the team, about professionalism and how to handle things in game situations.
So definitely in a game situation, the number one thing is you have to understand that you always are being watched.
Yes.
Film, the eye in the sky is not going to lie. And then the people who are there watching you, they are paying close attention because the word is going to get around fast. And I mean fast. So you got to be able to keep your composure. You got to be able to do your job. And you have to be able to give it 110% from the first whistle to the last. Because if people was really watching film, I'm paying attention to where you slack when you get tired. I'm paying attention to like what you're going to do when your back is against the wall and you got nothing else to lose. So you got to keep in mind of, yeah, you can play, but what about you playing in certain circumstances?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the difference between being at a pro level and then just starting off and making your way to that pro level.
Yeah.
Because now, once you get to that, you just start perfecting your craft. I'm hitting the weight room. I'm hitting the field. I'm studying film. I'm paying attention to everything. Not only that I can get better, I'm paying attention to other people in my position as well to see what can I do to make myself a better player than what I am now.
I love it. I think it's great advice for anybody, you know, in any league that wants to be better. That's some great advice, which you just kind of gave to the people. So appreciate you for that as well, man. Any last thoughts, anything else you want to let us know about the game, and then also does everybody know where they can find you and where they can find the team?
Yes, sir. So my name is Joshua Holly. You can look me up, Facebook, just Joshua Holly. Any other questions, any concerns, comments, I'm here to answer them. For the Maryland War Eagles, it's the same thing. Maryland War Eagles on Facebook. You can look out for my coaches. Shout out to Coach Steep, Matthew Steep, Coach Junior Robinson, all of that. Just look out for us. We making big moves. And as for this league, AAL2, treat it like it's a professional league. Just because they say developmental don't mean it's developmental forever. Treat it like it's a professional league and ball out like you are one. And that's when the big things are going to come.
Couldn't have said it better myself, sir. Couldn't have said it better myself. Appreciate your time. Good luck. Hopefully we'll be able to have you back next week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Shout out to AJ for the fits.
So, guys, back. We got another game to talk about. So, I've said this on the Bearcats show before. When you have a team that everybody's calm, I'm very uneasy if I'm playing against a team like that, right? Obviously, they're going to be hype on the field, but I'm saying like they just calm everybody like, we good. And from my interactions, that's been these Bearcats, man. And they showed it this week. 40-26. Got them win over their rivals, the Roughnecks, both Jersey teams. Right? Biggest win, I believe, if I remember correctly, well, largest score in the league this week. And they said they were going to air it out. And at least some airing out occurred. So we got a couple of people here from the team. So hey, we're just gonna talk some Bearcats here. Motivation, guys, motivation. So y'all are a team that a lot of people have said when we were doing, you know, the interviews and introductions for all the teams and different coaches and players. A lot of people were saying like, you know, Bearcats is a team to watch out for. So apparently they knew what they were talking about.
They're not wrong.
So being out there, being part of the game, either coaching or playing, how did it feel to just get that first game out of the way, you know, win and kind of do the things that you felt confident you were going to be able to do? Like we talked about all the time, everybody's a winner until they get punched in the mouth. Everybody's tough till they get punched in the mouth. It looks to me like y'all did the punching and the other team wasn't tough enough. So what are you guys' thoughts?
You know, I'll start it off. So, you know, we started out slow, you know, first game of the season, so we had to get into that groove. But once we found that groove, we took off, you know. Defense You know, they struggled a little bit in the first half, but once they got going, they put that nail in the coffin in the mid third quarter. Offense, we started off good. You know, we took the shot like we always said we was going to do. We didn't complete it, but that drive we went down and scored and put 6 on the board. So the first win was amazing. You know, our goal every week is 1-0.
Right.
Corey.
I mean, defensively, they had three or four goal line stands. We got a tough unit. They're fast, they're hungry, they hit hard, and they just refuse to quit. It was pretty all inspiring to standing there watching. Like, holy crap! Like, they're not gonna let these guys score easily on it. No one. It doesn't matter who it is. You're not gonna be able to score easily on this team. That's a shout out to how well they're coached and how well the players like adapt to everything, and they're hungry. It's pretty awesome to watch. Then offensively, I mean, we can pretty much run the ball, pass the ball. We got 2 dogs in the backfield. Shout out to Aaron Brown. You know what I mean? And it's just we got so many weapons on offense that it's pretty legit.
Kabish.
This is their show.
We got to hear from you too, though, man. We got to hear from you too, man. You out there doing it too.
For me, I mean, I told them after the game, and even when I talked to one of the guys in the organization, Lester, I said, you guys are, definitely better than I thought they were going to be, like, for sure, like, without a doubt. We were expecting, right, to get their best. We were expecting that. But they're gonna win some ball games in that East Division. Definitely. This East Division is gonna be something to watch for real. Because like I said about the Steel City Stampede merging with Huntington Park Seminoles, right? And you seen that game with the Maryland War Eagles, and they combined. That score was a 3-point game. It was a 26-26 game with the Bearcats and Roughnecks going into the fourth quarter.
And somebody must have woke up.
Yeah. Just come down to execution when you break it all down, boil it down. When you look at a lot of mental errors, penalties were killing us, fumbles, stuff like that, missed opportunities, and it's like once we get clicking, it's all bets are off. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's going to be a very, very, very hard team to play defense against. Like our offense is just it's crazy how stacked at the receiver and running back position we really are when you break it down. And you look at our coaching staff, it's like we got a former how long was Kelly Logan a head coach for 25 years?
Oh, for a while. Yeah. I mean, he won chips with the Reading Express.
Logan, I've known him for years.
Guys out in PA.
Yeah, those Reading. I grew up in Reading. You know what I mean? That was the city was buzzing about that team. They used to sell out all the time. I used to go to their games when I was growing up, and it was something to watch. I know a few people that played on those teams. And they had a really good staff back then too. I think we're kind of modeled staff-wise after them when you break down position for position, because it's staff-wise we're stacked. Not trying to toot my own horn, but kind of am. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy when you got a former head coach who's won championship. He's not even a coordinator. And we got arguably, my opinion, the best, if not the second best O-line coach I've ever worked with. I thought I knew something about playing O-line. I'm in Pinto, and I realized I didn't even scratch the surface. That dude just knows. He has an answer for everything. And it's really a credit to him for getting the Hogs ready, man, because he it doesn't matter who we put out there. We got like what 5 linemen. It doesn't even look any different if we sub a dude in and out. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've heard that you guys go 3 units deep at wide receiver. I did hear that. I did hear about the two-headed monster in the backfield as well. So I'm not surprised at the outcome based on the information that I had. Right, this was the outcome I expected.
Yeah.
Si, how did it feel to get on the field and hit some people for the first time on another team officially?
Man,
He
it
knows
felt
a lot.
good.
He knows a lot of those guys from that team. They tried to
Yeah,
recruit him.
so I know a lot of guys from the New Jersey Roughnecks. I played
Yeah,
some pro with them and stuff. They've been trying to recruit me, but like Jersey Bearcats is home. When AJ took me in last year, this is my second year. It would have been my third, but the first year I wanted to try out for the Jersey Bearcats, I ended up tearing my ACL, so I sat out the whole season. But I was still around the team, and being around them, it's like one big happy family
yeah.
and stuff. But being able to finally put my hands on somebody with a different jersey on, it felt good. Being back out on the field, doing what I got to do best, you feel me? And just getting after it, making my blocks, getting my running backs stay lanes, protecting my quarterback and stuff. It just felt amazing to be back out there.
I dig that, man. I dig that. It's obviously any sport, but especially football, when you
I
get to
know. I
hit
was breaking
people.
down the film, so I hear had a hell of a game, man.
I believe that. I definitely believe that. So for all of you guys, if you were thinking back on this game, what was a play that's your
Like I told,
favorite play or a play that you remember?
All right, I will go. So my favorite play was 4 seconds left in the half.
Hmm.
We trying to
right,
go
we went for
score. You
the
feel me? We trying to
so
go
first.
score. We try to put on the points before we going into the half. Not gonna say too much, but when the linebacker saw the 3 monsters up front, all I seen is their eyes get wide and big, and they ain't want no work. And Aaron walked into the end zone. I can't remember what the score was at halftime. It was 26-26, right, AJ? Going
At
into the
half,
half. Yeah,
it was
going into the half.
2018 at half.
At
So
half.
I
So
guess I guess I'll take the reins.
18-14 before we scored.
yeah, so that last play right before the half,
I'm,
that I feel like that put the stamp on the offense to know like we could really go down here and score when we put it all together.
Yeah, I dig that, man. That's a big. That's definitely a big play because, like you said, you get points at the end of the half, and without all the points, then you don't end up with possibly don't end up with the dub. So always important to get the points.
I mean, for me,
2020 going in half.
after watching it, before watching it, the game, I it was worse during the game than it was after sitting there watching it.
That makes sense.
You go, especially offensive wise. I thought we were playing like dog doo doo, but when you go back and look, you score 6 out of 8 times on offense, 6 out of 8 drives. Yeah, that's a pretty good number. But one was a fumble that they recovered, and the other drive was just we were just backed up, stupid penalties, undisciplined, bad things that happen. Right, bad things lead to other bad things. Right, and you go 4 and out. But
Yeah,
other than that, I mean, we had 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns.
balance.
Yeah, we lost 3 receivers in that game, but they'll be back. It was, like Todd, he had a workout with the Bills Friday, and then had another workout Saturday morning with the Jets, and then had our game, Saturday night. So like, his legs was like, nah, can't do it.
Yeah,
His hip was like, nah, I can't do it. So tried, but then Kyle Ward ended up, twisting his ankle on a run play blocking. And then one of our other receivers Hanel Jeremy that I'm sure everybody's seen the practice film of him flying past DBs and catching the long deep post from our practice, film that we put up. He messed up his ankle, and he told me this morning that he could barely walk on it. But right, all in all, we played 6 receivers after that. Like everybody got on the field.
That's ridiculous, man. That's just ridiculous.
Like
Coach
we're gonna get you on the field. Like you're not just gonna come here and not play. Like we're gonna get you on the field one way or the other, some way, somehow.
Yeah, that's one heck of a sales pitch. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Coach K, what about
it's just it is what it is. You're gonna get on the field.
Yeah.
At some point. Literally, we created a speed package on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. And then we had practice Tuesday, where it was like, you know what? How can I get some of these dudes to get on the field like with the third group earlier or the second group earlier? You know what? We go speed, go 4 wide, just take the running back out and bring another receiver in. It's just so many things to do, so many options.
Yeah. Coach K, what was your play of the game?
Probably about 2.
Okay.
Goal line stands defensively, man. They were like inches away from scoring. We had 2 unsung heroes of the team, Justin Piper, Tyreek Husey, came flying up, hit, kept their feet moving, and it was like awesome to see. Like you're not going to get over that goal line easy, and that's the attitude they got to bring. Like we got dogs only on this team, and it doesn't. Like, it was awesome to watch. Dudes just flying around having fun playing football, and like I was standing right there when I heard the crack, and it made my back crack. So it was pretty wild stuff going on down there in South Jersey on Saturday.
That was wild.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, you heard me. I was like, "Oh!" You turned around and looked at me. I saw you. Yeah, it was a good time, man. They definitely came to play. Those dudes don't mess around.
Pause. No Diddy.
Oh, no, Diddy.
Oh, no Diddy. I still don't know what that means, but I keep hearing about it.
Oh.
Oh man. This has been a fun interview. I will say that this has definitely been a fun
we have
segment.
a good time up here. It's
Sure.
a big old family up here. That's like
Nothing wrong
first
with
tryout. I showed up with a salad and I was eating it, and Joey Ramirez comes up to me and he asked me if everything was okay at home. I was like, I mean, I got a vacuum, but everything's what's up with you? He's like, I just never eat anything. I never seen you eat anything besides a burger. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm trying to lose weight, man. We have a lot of fun, man. We do have a lot of fun on this team, I gotta say.
It sounds like a lot of fun definitely had over there for sure. Definitely for sure. So any other thoughts, guys? I mean, it's not too much to say that we haven't already at least heard about the Bearcats. Everybody know about the Bearcats. Let's be real.
I'm shocked it took me to up at 6 to get on this thing.
I'm dead.
We gonna talk about the Avengers now?
We are in the movies. Yeah.
Huh? Oh.
We make it real simple. Y'all guys got a game coming up this week. You're playing the Avengers. We had them on earlier. And, they're not giving up. They say they're going to come out and, do the thing.
I'll say it again. Jeff is the man. That's all. The head coach stuff, he's the man. Got to get that man. I gave dudes before. I got to give it to him again. He's the man.
Fair enough.
Seems like a real stand-up dude. Just loves football and wants to give players an opportunity, and you got to respect that.
Yeah.
He just
obviously they got to play y'all right.
I haven't interacted with them at all, but I've been watching the podcasts. And yeah, that's a big problem. You know what I mean? A bad problem to have, but that's the scheduling. So
it is what it is. But we're not going to go into this game underestimating Michigan Avengers. We're going to take it one play at a time, one drive at a time. But our end goal out of that game is to be 1-0.
Exactly.
So we're not going to walk in here and
That's our
say,
goal every
"Oh,
week,
it's
1-0.
easy." We're just going to take it 1-0. One play at a time, one drive at a time. But just to let them know, the first play, we going up top. So I hope y'all ready.
I'm excited for I get the actual first play. I'm the special teams coordinator, so I'm kickoff, return. I don't care what we do. I'm just excited, man. I just want to coach football. That's all I worry about. All these players be asking me about like what bus we're taking. I don't know. I don't care. They give me an address the day of the game. I just pull up and I worry about special teams. That's all I care about. That's one of the things I'm passionate about is making starters through special teams. I tell them every right before every kickoff, if you guys want PT, show me something. Y'all want some playing time? Show me something. Eye in the sky don't lie. Let's see what you got.
It's a way to get on the field. That's what a lot of guys don't understand. They think like special teams is like a punishment. Special teams, that's how you get on the field. If you got people in front of you that you can't get in on the field before them. But I don't know. Some people don't feel special teams as a punishment. That's the craziest thought I've ever heard.
So another gem from the commission, y'all. If you get the opportunity to go on special teams and prove yourself, it's not necessarily a punishment. It's an opportunity to show that you can contribute in more than one way. Remember, especially in the AAL2, diversity, being able to play multiple positions, those are things that are important. So when you can do that, when you could be a flexible player, a guy that can do multiple positions, that's only going to help you. Special teams, everybody can learn. It's an opportunity. Don't miss out on opportunities.
Every year, I've been doing it ever since I started coaching special teams, and it's a clip of Terrell Davis when he was the number 7 running back on the draft on the depth chart for the Broncos, and he went flying down the field and laid someone out on a kickoff, and all of a sudden that it was like 3 years later he rushed for 2,000 yards. Y'all want PT? Show us something. Just that simple.
Absolutely. So Zod, Coach K, any last words? And then also please let the people know where they can find you.
I'm excited for this trip. We get to take one trip every year, and I've never been to Michigan, so pretty excited to go through the state a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're famous for food wise, but I'm sure someone will tell me. I'll have to order on Uber Eats. What they famous for up in Michigan? I know Philly, we got like cheesesteaks and stuff like that, but I never. Never been up
you have
there.
to let us know after next week. You have to let us know.
Yeah, I'll have to call the phone and then. So.
I'm ready to travel. It's always fun traveling with the Bearcats. Use it as a team bonding and stuff like that. So that's that.
Fair enough. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you guys hopping on. Good luck. Hopefully we'll have you guys back on next week talking about another Bearcats win. We're going to keep the commission on here for a few minutes, but appreciate you gentlemen for hopping on.
Appreciate you.
Not a problem. Good talking with you. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, Commish. You know what I'm going to ask you. All right, every week question. Who we got in the move that we ain't talked about before yet?
Man, I don't think I got any.
Okay.
It might come back to maybe next week, but right now
it's all good. Yeah.
Damn,
Plus,
man.
you celebrate this win, so you.
I'm not me. I wasn't. To be honest with you,
you wouldn't.
They was getting cursed out. I don't think I ever cursed out a team like that since I've been coaching them at halftime.
Oh yeah, because y'all were down at halftime, right?
Well, we were up 20 to 18.
No, you were 26. 18, right? 2018
Yeah,
at halftime.
2018, yeah. But boy, damn.
Close
Those
for you.
co-players. There's co-players during the game had to say, "Yeah, I didn't mean to talk to you like that. I'm sorry."
Hey, you can get a little, you can get a little competitive on the side of it. I feel it.
Yeah, that's all. Hey, everybody, and they understand it. Nobody got mad. Nobody, nothing.
Yeah,
That's how we are, man. It's a family.
absolutely, man, absolutely. Yeah, the more guys I meet from the organization, y'all seem to be very fun and very relaxed, and of course, very laid back. So
Yeah.
I see why guys be like, yeah, somebody was trying to get me, but I'm gonna stay with the Bearcats. I see why.
Yeah. Hey, and just to switch gears real quick, and that's kind of like some of the owners and coaches and stuff in the AL Tour now, that like behind the scenes in our chats and stuff, that's how we are too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
And that's why I said from the get, like this group is best one yet.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. The thing about AL too, man, is I watch more games and everything, and you can find games in a couple of different places, right? Was that PDF Sports?
PDF Sports Network. Yep.
And Shady Sports Network. You can
Shady
find,
Sports. Yep.
And
YouTube.
And on YouTube as well. So you got a couple of different places where you can find the games. It's just it's great for me to be able to kind of help people learn more about AL too, man. It's just fun. There's a lot of guys that want to try to go to the next level. They don't mind putting in the work and doing what they need to do at this level. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but a lot of good sportsmanship. And then like the game I was at, there was a couple times we saw a coach like grab a player, take him to the side real quick, like, hey man, get your mind right. We here for this. Boom, boom, boom. Right back on point. Guys out there playing hard and making things happen. It's amazing to realize how many other ways you can watch football just besides college and NFL, and how many great leagues there are, and how many leagues have good guys and good people running them and coaching and helping these guys develop.
Right.
And that's why one of the things I really love about AAL too, man. Really love it.
Yep. And I would want to shout out the Mississippi, right, for taking that. I think it's 12 hours.
Oh yeah,
our trip to Wake Forest.
Yeah,
right. Not a lot of teams at our level, not just in the AL2, just that, as we said, at our level,
yep.
Developmental can take travels like that,
mm-hmm.
right? And because that game was actually supposed to be at a midpoint, right? At a midpoint of both teams.
Okay.
And Mississippi was like, don't worry about it. We'll make travel.
Yeah.
Just like that. So, when you see people say things online, again, I know I talked about, just don't believe what you hear or see, right? Because anybody can start anything about any team, right? Just look what goes on.
Yeah.
Right. Look where they're going. Look how they move. Not what someone says. So I just wanted to shout them out, man.
Definitely, man. That's big, and a lot of good players, real solid guys around the league, personality wise as well. A lot of guys that I've talked to, some of the guys at the game I was able to talk to, man. Just a lot of good, just real good guys that just want to go out here and play. They want somebody to see them, and they just want opportunities, and it's a great thing.
Yep, and
great thing.
Phenomenal, man. I told you that this group of guys running these teams and stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah, from commissioners to owners to coaches.
Yeah.
By in that process, man, it does feel like there's a real solid, real good dudes part of it, and that helps, because then you're looking for the guys that have that we want to win, we dogs type of thing, and not just I'm just trying to have opportunity, but guys that really want to love and be a part of the game in any way that they can, and just seeing them, and you can see the passion in them when they're playing. You can see it.
Yeah. Yep. Every game, and like you said, they went up there to North Carolina with quarterback forgot his stuff,
right?
His equipment.
Yeah, but I was like, they only threw the ball.
They figured it out.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, they figured it out though, right? That's all that matters. You figure out how to get the 1-0. That's all you gotta do. It could be 1 point, 2 points, whatever. Gotta figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So any other topics you want to broach before we get out of here?
No, just again that Roughnecks. They were definitely better than we thought they were going to be. Definitely. So just want to definitely give their props. There was a nice crowd there. They had a nice crowd. Right? Yeah. They had their cheerleaders in the corner. It was a good day. Good day. All 5 games played. It was awesome.
Yeah.
This week.
It's good football.
Yeah.
Definitely good football.
Hopefully continue this this momentum we have. And
Absolutely.
Again, that starts with you guys too. Helping us with this platform.
We do what we can to help, man. Getting some good strong numbers so everybody keep watching, keep sharing it, keep telling your friends about it. Yeah. Let's help it grow even more.
Yep. Oh yeah. Who knows? Might have some try to get some teams from up north while we're in Michigan this week. Maybe talk some teams out there. So
there you go.
There's definitely some interest up there.
Love it, man. Love it. The more teams, the better.
Yeah. Always looking to grow. Always. Never stops.
Yep. I know you do this every week, sir. Just let the people know where they can find you individually as well as the league.
Yep. You can find me on Facebook, AJ Roque, Instagram, Coach Roque1. The league you can catch on, Facebook, American Arena League 2, Instagram, the official AAL2. You got YouTube, American Arena League 2. That's it, man. Just, follow us, like us, share us. We want to be around. Want to be around. We're going to be around for a while.
Absolutely. Support them too. Lots of support for them.
Right. It's important, man. And we always, when we bring teams in, first thing you want to do is make sure there's teams in that area around certain distance to play.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Gonna make sure it's as regional as possible.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. So if you're traveling, there's only maybe like playoffs, like deep in the playoffs, so it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Or, if you have to go, we always ask teams, hey, can you go here? It's an 8-hour trip, 9-hour trip. Can you make it? They say, no. All right, cool. Find something else.
Yeah.
Teams that can make it, awesome. Take that overnight trip, get that bonding going.
Absolutely.
So
I dig it.
Yeah, man. I love it. I was trying to say it come on after the Bearcats. You guys stuck that one in there on me. Couldn't get away from it. That's what I was like, this is their show. Let them go.
Hey man, we got to hear from the big dog too, though. We got to hear from the big dog too.
Nah, we got too many of those at the top. It's more than just me.
No, it's definitely more than just you. But
over there,
when you hear, you're the one we got to hear from. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, make sure y'all tune in. This is episode 6.
Yeah, already.
We already on 2 hands. Episode 6, AL Turf Talk. We'll be back with episode 7 next week. We'll be talking to the people from the teams that win again. Maybe some new faces.
Maybe some players of the week.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. We always down for it.